and joking too. Sipping and roasting is what we do. Light 'em up, drink 'em down. Whiskey and cigars all around. Cheers, y'all.
That sounds like a party just about to happen, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, to this fine radio program, podcast and video extravaganza, known internationally as the world-famous Smokin' and Toastin'. We are so glad to have you joining us here for show number 483. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. And we do have a new affiliate to welcome, KWAM AM 990 in Memphis is now a Smokin' and Toastin'.
Awesome. 990
Smokin' and Toastin' affiliate.
What was the call letters again?
KWAM AM 990.
KWAM?
KWAM.
I have to say that right.
It's KWAM. We are.
If you don't want to be known by that, please don't let me know.
And I understand we may have lost an affiliate or two. One station changed format, and to like a music format or something, and then I think another one just couldn't deal with the Nicolas Cage references. So, it's going to happen, but we're glad to still be adding new
some radio
affiliates.
stations have a no Nicolas Cage policy.
That's true. Yes. That's true. And I can't really blame them for that.
Yes.
But, it is what it is when it comes to us.
It's like one of those laws on the books. You wonder how it got there.
Right, exactly. It's like, and why hasn't anybody taken it off?
Like you can't, you're not allowed to chase squirrels with a
with a pea shooter or whatever. Exactly. But it is what it is. We're going to gain some, we're going to lose some, but we are thrilled to welcome Memphis to the party, because Memphis, that's a party city, man.
That's big.
They know they like the blues. Yeah. They like really cool, interesting beers and spirits, and so we're going to try some interesting beers and spirits today from Nebo, North Carolina, which I didn't know there was such a thing as Nebo.
I had no idea.
But we have had this brewery's beers on before. It's Fonta Flora.
Oh, yes,
Brewing.
we've had Fonta
And
Flora.
we'll be trying their springtime lager beer called MAIBOCK. MAIBOCK.
MAIBOCK?
Do you pronounce it MAIBOCK or MAIBOCK?
How do they spell it?
MAIBOCK.
Okay, because MAIBOCK would be MY.
Right.
Space.
This Bach is mine.
B-O-C-K.
Yeah, right. That would be with M-Y.
That's my Bach.
And then here's another that's a really interestingly named beer. There's a brewery in Austin, Texas, called Blue Owl Brewing. We've had some of their beers on the show before. They've been very good. They really are good with sours and some other things like that. But they have a whole line of beers called Bob's Beers that's like a subline of the Blue Owl thing. And we'll be trying the Bob's Beer IPA called Your Uncle.
Your uncle.
Yeah, so they have that to look forward to. And then from Aslin Beer Company in Alexandria, Virginia,
Nice.
Their double bourbon barrel-aged barley wine called U Street will make an appearance.
So not only do
show.
I appreciate the alliteration going on there, but barley wine is beautiful.
Barley wine's a good thing. And from Panama, a rum called Duran, which, by the way, is a third cousin to Simon Le Bon, apparently, of Duran. But no, actually, that's not true.
A lot of Rons in the rum industry.
Yeah, well, Ron basically means rum, I think, in one language or another. And in this particular case, it's called Duran because it was released. It's not owned by, but it was released as a tribute to the boxer Roberto Duran.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, and speaking of Roberto, thanks to our mixmaster Roberto for Smokin' and Toastin', Roberto Rivas Villar, who was with us last week as we did a little margarita taste test.
That was absolutely a blast.
It really was. And I all I have to say is that next time we do the margarita taste test, we definitely want to try to get Uber as a sponsor. That's a very important detail. So
Roberto always makes it fun when he comes on.
Yeah, no.
Check out the Spirit Box.
He's always fun. And ladies, if you're listening to the show and Roberto is on and you close your eyes and just imagine that he is Pedro Pascal, it works pretty well. I just want to say, I mean, I was getting a little excited just from having him on. So we will.
Apparently, he also looks a bit like the drummer from Animals as Leaders.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, I thought you were going to say he looked like the drummer Animal from the Muppets.
Telling me he went to He went to the Animals as Leaders show last week or week before last, and he was there with a couple of his buddies, and he goes, "Hey, I got to run off to the restroom." Like moments before the band started, and then they look on stage and they're like, "Is that Roberto on drums?"
That's
no,
hilarious.
it's Animal from the Muppets.
They took a picture, and it looks like him from that distance. It was cracking up.
We'll bring you a couple of our favorite features and most popular features here on the show. Drinking news we do in the second hour, and I have a little drinking news teaser headline for you. If you want to give me that little musical appointment.
Oh, drinking news.
Drinking news, yeah.
I have specific ones for different things.
Our drinking news teaser headline is, I can't put my finger on what's in this orange juice. All right. And we'll also bring you the drunken fact in a few moments. This is where
There's definitely a finger in the orange juice.
Yeah. We'll get there, I promise. We'll bring you the drunken fact as well. This is where we bring you a fact that we know to be true because we sourced it from the internet.
That's right.
And as I think you guys are aware by now, everything on the internet is true.
That's true.
But no, we do believe these to actually be true facts, and they're good for you to sort of retain as a piece of knowledge that you can drop the next time you're at a party or people are drinking. I had our friend Jim Heim and his wife Elaine came over to the house last weekend, and that would have been a good time for me to have dropped a drunken fact, but I didn't remember them. So
I was
it's
dodging,
important to remember these.
I was dodging trains and trying to get to work on time.
Yeah.
And I ended up going by his house. He was out on the porch, so I had to honk and stick my arm
I
out.
love that. I love that. Our drunken fact teaser headline for today is fake plastic trees and other stuff. Not too revealing, but I think is enough to pique the curiosity.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
and that's what we're trying to do. So we're really excited to start sampling some things, getting into the show today. And our theme, our title for today's show, is the 30 best breweries in the United States.
The 30 best.
The 30 best.
The 30 best.
Narrowing it down.
Yeah, right. And what's interesting is that I think we're going to have some problems with this list. I can already tell you, just from glancing at it.
You know, it's funny because on these lists, for some reason, Houston gets overlooked.
Well, and
lot.
that's one of the problems. And we have some
and not to be
great-
totally Houston-centric.
Well,
we have some great breweries.
We really do. And people have a tendency to recognize Austin because it's just cool, and so they go, oh, yeah, there's a brewery in Austin. And there are some great breweries in Austin.
That's true.
Yeah, so
but Houston still has better food.
hands down.
100%.
Hands down, Houston has a better cuisine. And
It's a foodie town.
Some of the breweries and distilleries that are available here are just absolutely top notch. So we'll take issue, I'm sure, with the list and maybe come up with
Somebody will take umbrage and start
come up with some of our
us.
own. Yeah, exactly. So lots to do on the show today, and we are, as I said, going to be tasting some beers and doing some other tasting things. And one of the things we like to taste on the show is something that we call the beverage of mystery. And the beverage of mystery is where one person brings in some sort of beverage, usually alcoholic, not always. And this beverage, what it is only known to the person what brung it. And today it was Ian that brung it.
This used to be cold.
Okay.
And I'm looking at this, and I'm actually a little
It
frightened.
is no longer cold, but it used to be cold.
The beverage of mystery.
See, now
And
you got.
Terry does not have a hopeful look on his
Look,
face.
No,
I already
and
don't wanna
Terry
drink
usually loves the beverage of
I
mystery.
already don't want to drink
Usually,
this.
even when Ian and I are negative towards the beverage of mystery, Terry's like, I could drink this.
No, I don't even
So I'm
wanna-
going to be honest.
already
I don't
wanna
think
drink
this smells bad.
I don't
think
know that it smells good.
It smells like. It smells like a harsh. I don't know if it's a rum or.
Ugh.
It's got a harsh. It
How do
smells
you
like
really feel about that?
like Taka vodka or something like that. Like $7 for the liter or the. Yeah.
What is? Well,
that's
Terry,
not-
This does
you
have
taste it
bubbles.
first.
I can't even. I'm having.
it's not
trouble.
great.
yeah, it's not great.
I don't know that I have
Did you do
such a
this to-
visceral reaction as you had.
Did you do
but
this to yourself as well?
I had just tried it. Yes.
Maybe this would work in some
Oh,
kind
God.
of a mixer. I don't know, but
Oh, this
Yeah.
is the reason. This is the original reason I don't drink. Like it's a gin, by the way. It's a gin, and this is the original reason I don't drink the gin because of the time that I first ever drank gin.
Oh,
and it was
the gin incident.
The cheapest
Most
plastic
floral,
bottle, that they had, and
Fake
it
plastic
was
gin.
Tasted like licking a pine tree.
Is this a gin? Or a gin? It's some kind of a gin cocktail.
Did you have a
gin
question
cocktail.
for me?
Yeah. Do you? Is that a beverage mystery in your pocket, or are you just happy to be here?
Well, funny you should ask because
Yeah.
boy, am I happy to be here.
I'm always worried when Ian reaches into his pants for something. It's a.
Depends on which direction I'm reaching.
Oh, I have seen these at Specs.
Which one is this?
So this contains premium spirits, my friend.
Oh well, I'm sure.
Extra
have a
Jack
name?
Gin and vermouth. This is also double shot strong.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
it
the club,
Yeah.
The
A
club
gin
of
martini.
cocktails.
Wow.
and it's a gin martini.
And
It's coming
Yes, it
in,
is.
dude. It's coming in at 21%.
Yes, it is.
Dude.
Okay, that makes sense. That's why it tastes like mostly just
paint
So-
thinner.
gin.
That's
this-
It's like floral paint thinner.
This,
If you took your
Like
if you
right
took your
next to
average paint
freezing.
thinner and added to it some floral notes
Yeah.
and elements, some juniper.
this right next to freezing would probably be much better.
Nope.
It does say refrigerated after opening on the can.
I just want to
Refrigerate
mention
during opening.
that Terry is usually the one of us that can handle these. Usually Ian and I are like, oh, nope. And Terry's like, it's not that bad.
21% alcohol. Look at this
Wow.
can.
That's got as much
Look at
alcohol
my hand,
as
okay?
it.
I believe that.
I
Yeah.
want to show you that. Look at
That
the can.
is,
Look at my
yeah.
hand.
Actually,
This is 21%.
Actually, that's a normal sized can, and you are the giant colossal man. That's what's going on right there. If you're watching the video version of the show, this can is about the size of one of those cans of tomato paste that you buy at the store.
Yes.
And
The
it's not.
Contadina.
Yeah.
If you put a little ice in it, it would have a little ice in it.
Then it would be cold
I
and
think
awful.
Terry has summed it up perfectly.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah.
But
Well,
would it
that's
change that?
that's
No.
bad. Just out of curiosity,
No.
did you
Now,
when
listen.
you bought this? Did you think this might be a fun? It's probably not very good, but it might be a fun beverage of mystery to bring on the show. Or did you buy it thinking this might be good?
So I thought, well, of course, I never drink anything like this, right?
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm going to have a gin martini,
You're going to make a gin martini.
I'm going to use gin
Yeah.
and I'm going to stir it.
Yeah.
And I'll put an olive in it.
Put it over some ice and then shake it
Yeah.
or stir it
And
and
that's it.
pour it. Yeah.
You know what? If you did put a little olive over it and you were very sad and had a bad day, and you just really needed
And you're
something
drinking
to
by
kill the
yourself.
pain.
Yeah, right.
Yes, by
All
yourself,
alone
yes.
in your mother's basement.
Yes.
You've made yourself a little fort out of your blankets and your couch.
Right. And you're sitting there going, you know what I need to do? I need to start a political blog and share my thoughts with the world. That's
Yes, this is the drink for you.
that's the drink you want when you're doing
I mean,
all of that.
all that being said, they are kind of pigeonholing their audience, you know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That is just so this takes us down the same path of like
To be honest, I think like if you took this and you put it just straight up over ice, like you're not supposed to have a martini on ice,
right.
generally. But if you drank it like a drink like that straight up on ice, I don't think it'd be that bad.
They're not off on the fact that I think it's natural soda and natural gin. I've had better gin.
I'm not. Yes.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So I'm there with that. But
Pretty
I will
much
tell you, you
every
know what this
gin
does
I've ever
not
had
have.
has been better.
This does not have a nasty sweetener
Yes,
aftertaste.
exactly.
That is
There's
true.
no sweetener to it.
There's no
It
sweetness
has
to
none
it
of that.
actually
It
at
just
all. Yeah.
doesn't taste like great gin.
Right. And there are some great gins
Which is
out
much
there.
better, I think, than having a nasty sweetener aftertaste. The Cursina sweet.
I recently
Linger.
enjoyed some of the Citadel gin that I think it was our friend Docs that brought onto the show, and I just thought, you know what, I should drink gin more often.
Yes,
This is
That
really
is
good.
I did
that
the
is
same
much better
thing.
than this.
I
Yeah.
did the Rouge.
Yeah.
It was very good.
I also had some, rot gut whiskey that was better than this. But that's another story.
This is.
for
I
another
will
time.
mention that upon third or fourth sip, it's a little perfumey.
Okay, we'll accept that and move
Took you
on.
3 sips.
It's Smoking and Toasting, and we will be right back.
Do they have a new version of Oregon Trail?
Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting.
You got
Our
dysentery.
program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. And today, a little bit of talk about video games. I'm still a Pong guy. I don't know about you. Remember Pong?
Yeah.
Pong.
They have brain cells playing AI. They have human brain cells with AI playing Doom.
And who's
Doom.
winning?
I guess the fact that I guess AI is winning before it takes over. This is
I
how it
would guess
prepares
so.
to take over. The
Right.
world.
This is how it learns
Yeah.
what
Okay,
to do.
It's-
I
but-
enjoyed Doom.
It's moving.
substantially.
Doom's awesome.
It's bringing the human brain and AI together. That's what the scary thing
I was
is.
so happy when because the last Doom game I played was Doom 3.
Yeah.
And it was on the computer,
Yeah.
and they still had the BFG.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing I love about Doom is even if you go back to the first one and it's like you're going through this Roblox maze.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still super fun.
Yeah.
And the aliens, even though they're like really weird looking because of the early days of the game, it's still super fun to blow them away.
Yeah,
bit.
it is.
Well, welcome back to Smoking and Toasting. We are not a video game show. We are all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. And one of the things we like to do here on the show is the Drunken Fact, which lets you in on some sort of a true fact, ostensibly true, that you can drop at your next party or something when people have been drinking, and you will be like the person that knows things. And so that's why we do it. Well, actually, we do it because we love the little fanfare that we play, but that's the secondary reason. So, Terry, if you would.
And now it's time for another Smoking and Toasting Drunken Fact.
Drunken Fact for today. It's nice and short and sweet. It's simple. It is, there are more plastic fake flamingos in the world than real ones.
Wow. They finally caught up.
Yeah, yeah.
They finally made enough.
If you ever drive through like Orlando, Florida, which doesn't even touch the water,
Yeah.
plastic flamingos are in everybody's yard. It's
My mom loves
amazing.
flamingos. She
Yeah.
loves flamingos. She's a flamingo, but she lives on the beach in Galveston, and she loves flamingos. She used to be an owl person when I was growing up, but then somehow
shifted
that
to flamingos,
changed,
yeah.
and now it's flamingos and been for many years
Because
now.
an owl on a stick in your yard just looks stupid.
Yeah.
A flamingo looks like, this is a beach person that lives here. This is someone who enjoys the coastal waterline. So,
Wow.
yeah, but there's more plastic fake flamingos in the world than real ones. That is your yes. Thank you. Right now, the ownership of KWAM AM 990 in Memphis that just took the show, they're going, what have we done? What have we done?
What is going on here?
Yeah. So let's get to some of the actual subject matter of the show. Let's talk about cigars. Ian, did you have a chance to
cigars.
smoke anything interesting this
I
week?
got up this morning. I was a little tired last night, so
Yeah.
I just kind of went to bed. I got up this morning and I decided to have breakfast and a cigar. So I did. I pulled out an AJ Fernandez.
Oh.
So it's an AJ Fernandez kind of week because coming up a little later this week is my birthday.
Right.
And you dropped on me a 5-pack of AJ
That's right.
Fernandez.
And this was taken from
best
my
ofs.
own. I didn't buy this 5-pack.
This is beautiful.
Was assembled from my
This
own
is just
humidors.
what you happen to have.
This is assembled from my own humidors. And some of them, as I was putting them in the bag to give to you, I cried a
almost
little,
didn't make it.
tear.
They almost
actually.
didn't make it.
Almost didn't make
But
it.
I only
yes.
have 6 of those left.
Yeah, that's right. How did you know? But you smoked an AJ this week, huh?
So I did. An AJ Fernandez New World Decenio.
Oh, I love that cigar. I do. What'd you think about
Okay, well, so let's cut this short then. Cigar good, 5.5.
it? Okay, very good. Now, what did you think of it, really?
This is a box press Robusto coming in at 5.5 by 54 with a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, Honduras, and Nicaraguan filler. The appearance on this, I call this a medium brown, super smooth. Like the veins are visible, but they're low and flat and just super
Yeah,
smooth.
oh, yeah. It's got this pristine
Yes,
wrapper.
it looks fantastic. It's oily, slightly leathery to the touch, blue and gold bands with gold footer and a firm box press. The pre-light sniff on this, I got barnyard sweet coffee, tea leaf, a little bit of fermented hay. I didn't spend a whole lot of time lingering on that because by then my mouth was watering. I cut it with the
It
V-cut.
happens.
Had a very easy draw to it, sweet creamy coffee, hayloft. Not fermented hay, but hay that's been there just a little while to make the whole place smell like hay. You know what I'm talking about. Mocha and leather on the lips a bit. I used my lighter. I lit the end, and this thing had what I would call a professional Nicaraguan pepper blast.
Nice.
Professional?
AJ style. Yes. I got notes of pepper, pecan shell, pepper, sweet coffee, pepper, and a hint of pepper. The retro hail is peppery and woody. The first third of the cigar, pepper settles into a peppery foundation from which notes of pecan shell, coffee wood, something between cedar and walnut, gritty mocha, and bookstore, what I like to refer to as dusty tome, and pepper can be found. The retro hail is peppery and sweet wood, solid ash, uneven burn. Proposed pairing. I was thinking pretty tough about this one. I didn't do a whiskey sniff on this one because that would have been at 8 o'clock this morning.
Yeah. And you generally don't do whiskey until 9.
That's right.
Okay.
8:30.
I gotta wait.
8:45 maybe.
8:45, yeah.
So I was thinking, you know what would be great with the cigars? Like a crispy Kolsch. Something that contrasts it substantially. And then, or a Jamaican or Barbados rum, something dark and rich and a little funky.
Yeah, yep, I think so.
The second third of this, my ash finally fell out, the burn evened out, pepper stays vigilant, hints of cinnamon and bouillon surface to add to complexity. Hints of cinnamon and bouillon surface to add to complexity of the cigar. A kiss of anise and mint are left lingering, and leather and earth tingle on the lips and the tip of the tongue. Retro hail is peppery and sweet wood. Solid ash, good burn. Last third of the cigar, more savory notes live here, along with more leather and mint. Medium plus strength overall, with a very full flavor profile. Pepper ramps up, sweet notes remain consistent. Retro hail is peppery and sweet wood. Solid ash, good burn. Priced at $11, I'm giving it 5.5.
Oh, nice. Nice. Very nice. Well, I reviewed this cigar back in December of last year, and I actually wrote a little song, which I will go back now into my notes and share with you when we return about the AJ Fernandez New World Diseño Toro. We'll be right back with that if you can stand to still be with us. It's Smoking and Toasting. Oh, love that sound. Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. If you are new to the program, like some of our listeners in Memphis who are maybe hearing the show for the first time, one of the things you will come to know is that I am a total fanboy of AJ Fernandez, the tobacco blender. And Ian smoked an AJ Fernandez cigar this week and was talking about it. I actually smoked that cigar and talked about it back in December, but I thought this might give me a good excuse to revisit the little song that I wrote when I was reviewing this cigar about the AJ Fernandez New World Diseño. And it is the ballad of an AJ Fernandez fanboy. And here we go. AJ was a man who knew his damn tobacco, understood complexity. I'm a fanboy now, and that's the way it is, y'all. Don't like it, then you can sue me. And, of course, I know I used the rhyming style of the Beatles' Get Back and not the ballad of John and Yoko, but I'm sorry. I mean, Christ, you know it ain't easy.
Cigar!
Yeah, but that's not important right now. So I just thought, the amount of work that I put into coming up with that verse, I thought justified bringing it back again. Since
I
Ian
just was
smoked
watching
that
Get
cigar.
Back on Disney Plus, that big epic thing where they recorded it. I mean, it just brought me to that right there. Just
Absolutely.
that right there.
And that
that's
happens.
how that magic
that
is made.
Absolutely happens. and by the way, those of you who are regular listeners to Drinking News know that sometimes those stories inspire me and I write poetry. Yeah. In this case, the cigar inspired me and I went all the way to a
full song.
Straight to song.
A sort of a weird
verse.
Al Yankovic style song. So, by the way, I met Weird Al.
He's amazing.
He was super cool. I was at an MTV years ago, back in my radio days. I was at an MTV Awards, the MTV Video Music Awards show. And I was like hanging out in the lobby. And here comes, everybody's all dressed up. I'm wearing a suit and a tie. And here comes Weird Al. And I thought, this is how I want to dress from now on. He showed up in this really nice tuxedo jacket with a Hawaiian shirt underneath. And I thought, this is a man who knows style and knows what to do. He was super nice, by the way.
He's amazing.
He was super nice.
He's
so,
amazing.
Speaking of super nice, I am a big fan of Fonta Flora Brewing. We've had some of their bigger beers on the show before, some of their stouts, and I think maybe even a barley wine. But today we're trying their MAIBOCK or MAIBOCK, depending on how you pronounce it.
This is a traditional springtime lager beer.
Yeah, and it's it comes in a big can, and the can is very floral. Have you done any research yet
I have
on this,
not.
Ian?
This is brewed with water from our wells.
You know what I
And
love about
86% local ingredients.
this is a beer that smells like beer.
Yes, it's nice to have something with
It
a
has
good
a
nose.
very classic beer nose to it.
And you know, this brings me to the thinking, and of course we'll try it and see if this is consistent, but maybe this might be a good beer for you to give to your macro brew friends who normally drink, a Budweiser or something like that, and you can go,
There's too much
"Hey,
flavor.
Too much
You can't
flavor?
give this. You can't give this to your macro brew friends. There's too much flavor in this. You got the primary.
It's very
Wow, that's
wonderful
good.
flavor. I mean, it
You
is
got
full
the
of flavor.
primary
Yeah,
beer
it really
flavor,
is.
and then you have this.
This underlying sort of sweetness almost?
Yes, and then it just blossoms into this barley beautifulness. I don't know.
It doesn't have the water flavor like what we're talking about, the macro beers, but you can taste whatever you're saying there. It's brewed with special water. You can almost taste a mineral-esque water on it there.
Yes, but this does not come across. This is such a big mouthfeel for a lager
yes,
too.
Yes.
It is, but you know what? The flavor reminds me of that wonderful smell that you get when you walk into a brew
Yes,
pub.
yes.
And you just like breathe in that barley and
Yes,
wheat
yes.
and malt.
Yes.
And you've got all of that showing up. This is absolutely delicious. If you are a fan of lagers, and it's been a big year for lagers and pilsners the last year or so in the brewing world. This may be one of the better ones I think that we have tried.
For quite a few years in the microbrewing industry, I think lagers, pilsners, Kolsch, were all kind of ignored.
Right, IPAs were big, and then people started doing really
IPAs, yes.
big beers,
And then barrel-aged beers, of course.
and now
bigger
there's
styles,
been
porters.
there's been this sort of return to how can we make a really good lager? How can we make a MAIBOCK that is a spring pilsner that is as genuinely delicious as this? And I think you may be right. This might not be the best sort of introductory beer for your macro brew friends, because it does have so much flavor.
Yeah, if they're
lot of
used to
flavor.
Michelob Ultra, then
Yeah,
that's
right.
going to be. But if they like beer flavor
Yeah.
or they think they like beer flavor, show them what beer
Yeah.
flavor is with this.
You know what it's kind of like? If your idea of tacos is Taco Bell, and then you stop at like a street vendor or a
Bigotes are one of those.
Yeah, and you get a street taco,
Yeah.
a couple of street tacos, and you're like, oh my God, where did all this flavor come from? That's kind of what it's like in comparison to a macro brew. It's delicious.
Also, I accept any and all tacos.
Oh, okay. It's good to know. That's
You know
good
what?
to know.
Taco Bell really ruined it when they got rid of the fiery Dorito.
I did love the fiery
Shell.
Dorito
that was
Choco
good.
Shell.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Like the fiery Doritos, like
You know what? I'll
Just
give
like your
Taco Bell.
abuela used to make.
I'll give Taco Bell a lot of credit. They're only dealing with 5 or 6, items.
they got to
Yes.
make
and
it
they
fresh.
keep finding
They keep-
ways to combine them differently.
Okay, funny story.
And
So
I love them all.
Yeah.
by my house is a Taco Bell / chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I pulled
Because
up one
Pepsi
time.
owns them all.
That's
They
right.
do.
That's
Pepsi
right, yes.
owns them all.
And I pulled up one time with my wife, and I ordered what I wanted, and then she wanted a chicken something with chicken, and the lady goes, "I'm sorry, we're out of chicken." And
How do you run out of chicken at Taco Bell?
and I started laughing. I said, "You do realize you're a chicken restaurant, right?"
Right.
She goes, "That's the wrong kind of chicken." I was like,
Yeah.
they come from the wrong side of the tracks. What's happening here?
Yeah. These are wayward chickens. They're the wrong kind.
Apparently, the Taco Bell portion of the restaurant was out of Taco Bell chicken, and you can't
use KFC
You
chicken
no.
in Taco Bell.
Although it would have probably been delicious.
Even though Eric
Probably,
Cartman would
yeah.
totally approve of this.
Yeah, but Eric Cartman approves of a lot of things. I don't know if you can, if you can really use that as a benchmark. I smoked an interesting cigar this weekend. I smoked the Antonio Company Corona Gorda, and in a world where some cigars are wrapped with incredibly intricate and beautiful bands, Rocky, I'm looking at you. The Antonio Company Corona Gorda is not going to win any cigar beauty pageants. The milk chocolate brown wrapper is nice enough, and the overall feel of the cigar was good. The band is enough to make me wonder if I was getting either a retro Cuban cigar type of vibe or if it was a tried and true El Cheapo. And it can be hard to tell, right? With some of these, very, unostentatious bands.
Was the band, it's like, because what I find usually
You
a lot of
see it
times
in the
is,
picture here.
What's the material that the band's made of? Because sometimes when it just looks like it was printed on someone's printer.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And then the guy's
sometimes it's
telling you
printed
that
on
they're Cuban cigars, not so much there, buddy.
Sometimes, those fake Cubans were printed on a printer that's almost out of black ink. So it just doesn't come across. The Antonio Company Corona Gorda uses Nicaraguan binder and filler wrapped in a Habano leaf. And despite the fact that the band clearly says, and you can see this here in the photo, made in Tampa, that's actually not true. It is of Nicaraguan origin. It is rolled and assembled in Nicaragua. The Corona Gorda is just over 5.5 inches long and is a nice, manageable 46 ring gauge. And I'm just going to say this now. I am so into 52 and under ring gauge cigars.
You're such a size queen.
Really enjoying it. Yeah, under. Yeah, I'm the opposite of a size queen. Pre-light sniff was incredible. It was one of the most intense collections of pre-light notes that I've come across in a while. Nice, deep earth, spice, and a hint of pepper, and a rich baking chocolate note. Once I opened it up with a V-cutter, the same was true for the cold draw. Initial puffs did not give me a Nicaraguan pepper blast, but they did show me that notes and flavors were going to show up almost immediately. Cedar, earth, and roasted coffee beans were the first notes that I detected. All throughout the first third, I also got little hints of pepper, especially on the finish and on the retrohale. Construction, spot on so far, good draw, and a razor straight burn line. The second third gave me more of the same. Not a lot of changes, but that was all good because I really liked what the first third had given me. I did detect a hint of citrus zest on the finish that I hadn't picked up before, and the pepper may have kicked up a notch. Construction remained amazingly good. By the final third, coffee notes moved up a bit in the flavor profile, and pretty much all the notes that I was getting in the first and second parts of the cigar made their appearances in the final third. The Antonio Company... the Antonio Company Corona Gorda didn't bring a lot of flavor changes, and the profile remained pretty consistent all the way through. That said, I did really enjoy the flavor profile, and the excellent construction made it easy to just kind of focus on the flavors. The strength was medium to full pretty much throughout, and for a suggested pairing, I'd go with a nice, Planterade dark rum. The sweetness would be perfect with this less sweet, more traditional tobacco flavors and vibe of the Antonio Company cigar. If this cigar was clocking in at $7 or $8, I'd give it a 5 in price to quality. But I got a 5-pack of these online that netted out to $3.75 per stick.
Nice.
So, at that price, even though I didn't like this as much as my go-to Nicaraguan AJ smokes, I have to give it at least a 6 because I'm not sure you could do much better at that price point. I mean, if you're paying under $4 for a cigar and it's smokable, that's something.
Yeah, that's already
but if it's got some
somewhere.
flavors you could really enjoy, definitely a 6. So that's my thoughts on the cigar for this week. So.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try those.
I thought about throwing one of those in your birthday pack that I gave you, because I still have
It
another.
would have broken up the AJ Fernandez.
That's right. It would have messed up the whole fidelity of the AJ.
It would have broken up the AJ Fernandez-ness of it.
Absolutely. So,
why do I find it so funny that you have a sticker of Docs on the back of your phone?
You love that? There you go.
Yeah. So
Docs on the back of the phone.
Terry is taking some photos as we talk here of our rum that we're going to have here in just a little bit on the
I like
show.
to post things on the Instagram page, Smoking in Toastin'.
Right.
No G's. Smoking in Toastin'.
Right.
On Instagram.
And
You'll find us.
it's good. You should check it out. Terry spends a lot of time making sure there's good stuff up there. But on the back of his phone, he has a sticker of our friend Doc's that is, in fact, the same exact image of that cardboard stand-up that we had of him for a while.
He had them made into
studio.
stickers, so after we did that, the next time I had seen him, which was somewhere, he gave me a sticker, and I had it and wasn't sure what to do with it, but
Just
this
This is where it
displaying of
goes.
it is
Just out of
beautiful.
curiosity, Ian, if I had stickers made of myself and gave them to here, take this, put it on your phone. It's a sticker of me. It's a sticker of Cruz. You would think I was an insufferable egomaniac, wouldn't you?
This is what's special about Docs.
It comes across
This is what's
different from
special
different
about
people,
Docs.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Certain people can
Some
say
people can get away with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. Yeah.
I think Docs is one of those
He
people.
does, and it looks wonderful. It's right there, along with Snoopy and a couple of Finn Wolfhard pictures that my daughter stuck in
Well,
there.
yeah,
too,
I'm sure that's
she's a
probably
big Finn
true.
Wolfhard fan.
I would just mention.
I'm sure she put them there.
I would just.
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
right.
'cause-
I'm sure it was her.
Ooh, I'm a fanboy.
I will just mention, by the way, that my wife, who is she's all over social media. It's not that she posts that much, but she knows everything that everybody is doing. If we've ever met them, she follows them on social media and she gives me updates. So yesterday she says to me, "Docs is in Paris."
Yes, I do. Docs posts a lot. I enjoy his stuff.
Docs is in Paris.
He was wearing a
And
beret.
it was the way she said it. I was like, well, if you don't love me anymore, you just go to Paris and be with Docs. She wasn't too happy with that response. But no. Well, he works for Maison
Maison
Ferrand.
and so he goes there.
And
yes,
so
yes,
their
yes.
headquarters is in France, and so he goes there and drinks. And
He does.
Can you
He
imagine
took
that?
people.
That's
I
when
think
you
he
like
took
to be
people.
called into the boss's office.
That's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
it looked like people
Yeah.
went along, and he also goes to Disneyland.
Yes. Oh no, he's a big Disney fan. Yes.
Yes.
But the drinks are definitely better in France.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he always looks like he's having. I mean, the stuff he posts, the drink wise, when he's in. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
amazing. So I'm hoping that he's getting some new things, and he's
Yes.
going to bring them back and let us taste them on the show.
Yes.
That's what I'm absolutely hoping for. So we have some interesting things to get into on the show here. We told you the drunken fact already. We have drinking news coming up in the second hour, and we also want to talk a little bit about the 30 best breweries in the United States. And this is all based on an article that I came across on VinePair. And VinePair
has a lot of fun articles.
Yeah, they have some really good articles. So they did, according to Beer Pros, and I don't know what you have to do to become a beer pro, just like drink a lot of it, maybe. But according to Beer Pros, the 30 best breweries in the country right now. So we'll get into that in our next segment. Plus, we have more beers to try. As I believe I may have mentioned, we're going to try an IPA from Blue Owl Brewing in Austin, and it's part of their Bob's Beers series. And I just love the whole concept of Bob's Beers. It's like even more pedestrian than like Travis Kelce's Garage Beer, you know. So, which we had on the show a couple of episodes ago, by the way. If you want to find out how good it was, go back and check it out. In the meantime, we take a break, and we will return with the 30 best breweries in the United States, supposedly. Next, it's Smoking and Toasting. I like how you delayed that. The anticipation was wonderful.
I call that engagement drama.
I call it beer foreplay. That's what I call it. I think we're. Oh wow, is that leaking out the bottom, or is it just?
Something about that foreplay made the beer happy.
Yeah, it was.
No,
it
you
was
know how
really
you know
happy.
how the beer it'll sometimes run down the length of the
the can. Yeah,
can.
Yeah, it was doing that for sure. We're going to be trying Bob's Your Uncle Juicy IPA here in a few minutes, and it is definitely
When
exciting.
you say your
'cause
uncle
it's-
like that, it makes me think of What was the Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, Napoleon Dynamite, truly one of the great. Some of the best movies in the world, in my opinion, were ones that came out of nowhere, like nobody saw them coming.
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite was one of those.
Definitely one of
that
those.
was just one. And Office Space.
It's completely full of
I loved Office
non-jokes.
Space,
Oh, exactly.
yeah.
Right?
And they're hilarious
Uncle
non-jokes.
Rico.
They're hilarious non-jokes.
Uncle Rico.
So there is a website that we have quoted here before on the show called VinePair. And VinePair actually is a really good website. They did an article recently about the 30 best breweries in the country right now, according to Beer Pros. And this is an interesting thing they say in the article, and I wanted to share this. Like, people who work with beer often see things differently from the rest of us, armed as they are with insider knowledge. For this list of the 30 best breweries in the country, we asked for takes, hot or otherwise, this is VinePair speaking, as well as justifications from the people who sell, serve, write about, and brew beer. Some of these entries are chosen by beer pros that are pretty obvious. Some are oddballs. Many are well established, while a few are new arrivals. So this had me really excited to look at this list, because I don't know if we're going to agree with them all, but I think it's going to be interesting to go through. So let's tackle this, and we'll stop partway through and sample some beer. Or Ian will sample some beer even before we stop partway through. The first one on the list is from Midvale, Utah, and it's Two Row Brewing. They helped to usher in the next wave of Utah craft beer when they opened in 2015. Monterey, California boasts the Alvarado Street Brewery. I have not been there, but I love Monterey, California. It's one of my favorite towns in the world. I just think it's all awesome. And John Gogler, the head brewer at Ghost Town Brewing Company, says Alvarado Street Brewing has always stood out to him. Lots of hoppy beers, lots of really cool stuff. Beer Keller Brewing Company in Columbia, South Carolina makes the list. I have not heard of this one. Have you?
Say it again.
It's Beer Killer, B-I-E-R.
Beer Killer.
K-E-L-L-E-R.
Beer Keller. Yeah, no, I don't know that one.
I don't either, but I'm awfully intrigued. And one of the reasons I like doing these lists on the show is because the stuff we haven't heard of before that we're not familiar with, it's like, okay, that goes on my bucket list for sure.
Yeah.
Like this one. In Old San Juan, Puerto Rico, the Box Lab Brewing Company. Now, I've been laid over in San Juan, Puerto Rico before at a flight. And I remember, in fact, grabbing a taxi and going to a casino. The next time I'm laid over, I'm going to Box Lab Brewing.
Nice.
They launched in 2012 as one of Puerto Rico's original craft breweries, and I'm excited to check them out. And you'll find this article at VinePair, and they have some photos and stuff in here that just look so delicious. So there's Cheluna Brewing Company in Aurora, Colorado.
Never heard that one.
There's Cohesion Brewing Company in Denver, Colorado.
Yes, we've had Cohesion on
Denver or Colorado
The
as a
beers.
state has some amazing breweries.
Absolutely.
They've been kind of a linchpin, I think, in the
Why is it
craft
there's
brewing
certain
world.
states that brew like great breweries just gravitate to, like Michigan?
Oregon, Michigan,
Oregon, yes,
yeah,
like, it's
and
crazy.
definitely Colorado. Speaking of Oregon, from Tillamook, Oregon, Digard Brewing, and we've had some beers from
Yes.
Tillamook. Have we had Digard?
I feel like we have.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I mean, we've had a lot of beers on this show, so it's hard to tell. But
the person
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, the person that wrote this is Wynn, regional sales manager for North and West Colorado and Wyoming for New Belgium Brewing Company. And he says, one of my favorite U.S. craft breweries has to be Digard. Before I moved to Portland, Oregon from St. Louis in 2013, Corey King, who at the time was still brewing and blending at Perennial Artisan Ales,
Yeah, those are
pre-side
good.
project, told me I needed to check them out once I got there. And so he went, and they became one of his favorites. I believe we've had a beer from these guys before in Chicago, Dovetail Brewery.
Yes.
Have we had Dovetail on the show before? I think we have.
Yes, and it's funny because like some of these one-offs that you can't really get around here, you got on the Tavor app.
On the Tavor app, yeah, and was able to bring. In fact, the Fonta Flora beer that we had today, I believe I got that on the Tavor app. Although I think you can get Fonta Flora here in Texas.
I think it depends on which ones, though.
Yeah, I think you're right. From Brooklyn, Eckhart Beer Company.
We've had that.
We have had that before, and their beers have been quite good. From Charleston, South Carolina, I don't think we've had this one. Edmunds Oast Brewing Company, O-A-S-T, Oast.
We 100% have had that.
Have we really?
Yes. I remember that's a weird name.
Okay. From Nebo, North Carolina, Fonta, Flora Brewery. We had them today.
There we are today.
And that Pilsner was exceptional. That's on the list. From Sacramento, California, Geisthaus Brewing Company.
That's an awesome name.
Yeah, it is, and I don't think we've had those guys, but they are pretty influential in that area. They were nominated for this article by Chris O'Leary, who is the editor of Brew York. I've never read Brew York, but I want to. From Austin, Texas, and I'm going to admit this right now. I'm not familiar with this brewery, and Austin's 3 hours from here, and I should be familiar with Meanwhile Brewing Company. There's more than 40 breweries in the Austin area. Mm-hmm. And they say picking a favorite is never easy, but Meanwhile is the one they picked. From Alexandria, Virginia, where my favorite grandson, AJ, lives. I love that kid. He's so awesome. He looks like a spitting image of Adam, by the way.
Oh, I bet.
And he's awesome. From Alexandria, Virginia, the Mesa Brewery, Mieza. Oh, it's not Mesa Brewery. It's Mesa Blendery.
Oh.
And they are, the article here says there's nearly 10,000 breweries in the United States, and only a handful do what Alexandria's Mesa Blendery does. They mix fermentation beers, often utilizing fruits and spices, layered and blended with a culinary mindset. So check that out. We've had beers from these guys before. New Glarus Brewing Company in New Glarus, Wisconsin. Their beers have been fantastic that we've had on the show. From San Diego. And we've had a lot of San Diego brewery stuff on the show. North Park Beer Company. I am not familiar with these. Are you?
We've had North Park.
Have we had North Park?
Yes, we've had North Park.
I just,
I can, like, when you said it, I could see the logo in my head.
Sometimes after we try beers, I enter this state of what I call the forgetting.
Yes.
And that happens. So
once you're drinking beers, you'll eventually enter a state of the knowing.
Yes. And then what is the state of, like, when you black out?
Oh, that's time travel.
Time travel. Okay, I got it. So there's more of these, and we have Bob's fine beers to try, this juicy IPA called Your Uncle. We'll do that next. This is Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back, my friends. It is hour 2 of Smoking and Toasting. Our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. Talking a lot about craft beer today because we're looking at this list where they asked different brewers what their favorite brewery, other than their own, was. And so it made for a very interesting list. Some of these I agree with. Some of them I think we'll likely disagree with. But one brewery that we've come to know that is about 3 hours from us here in Austin, Texas, is the Blue Owl Brewing Company. Mm-hmm. And they have a sort of a sub-line, if you will, called Bob's Fine Beers. And it's just, I think it's designed to look more like a macro brew. But this is their Bob's Fine Beers, Your Uncle Juicy IPA. I took a sip during the break, and this tastes nothing like a macro brew.
No, it's delicious.
Yeah, it is a wonderful juicy IPA.
It's incredibly well balanced.
Yeah, what do you think, Terry?
Oh, wow, yes. It's very nice. Very nice.
The aftertaste has got some decent bitter to it without being terribly astringent. It's really nice.
What I think is interesting is I feel like this beer reflects a kind of a trend in juicy and hazy IPAs lately, which is there is a little more bitter. A lot of times in the very early days of hazies, everything was very sweet. Everything was very citrus and sweet. It was almost like an Orange Julius beer in many ways, right?
Orange Julius.
But now this has like some elements of like a West Coast sort of a more bitter IPA, but it is wrapped in the
I'm just saying, if Orange Julius was selling something like this, they'd still be in business.
Oh yeah, is Orange Julius out of business? Are they? I think they are.
When's the last time you even saw one?
I don't know.
I think they were all
huge
replaced
around here.
They were all replaced by Smoothie King.
I never felt like they were huge in Houston. I always felt like they were somewhere else.
Well, this is a great beer. It is a very balanced IPA, like Ian said. But the balance here seems to be almost like a balance between a West Coast, more bitter IPA and a juicier.
It's unapologetically
East Coast.
hoppy.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
But it's also got a nice round malt and citrus profile that rolls through, and then it just leaves you like wanting another sip.
Austin scores again. This is good. Bob's Fine Beers. And by the way, they have other styles of Bob's Fine beers under the Blue Owl Brewing banner. But I had to go with this one, not just because it was a juicy IPA, but because it was your uncle. Yeah.
It was your uncle.
And we all have that uncle.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My uncle, my late uncle Paul, his claim to fame was that when he was like in his like young 20s and first had his driver's license, he wound up having an accident because he was looking at a pretty girl on the sidewalk and ran into the car in front of him. I was like, okay, you're the uncle I respect, right? Because big props for that. If you're going to get in an accident, that is the single best reason for it to happen, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but that's my late Uncle Paul. Going back to our article where different brewmasters and beer pros from different breweries are naming their favorite breweries other than their own. And what's interesting is that John Houlihan, who's the founder and mead maker at a place called Brewlahan, which is a super cool name, Brewlahan, he pointed out that Odd Colony Brewing Company in Pensacola, Florida, is his favorite.
I don't think we've had any Odd Colony.
I don't think we have, yeah. Lakewood, Colorado is home to the Old 121 Brew House, which I love the name, and they are mentioned here in the article as well. And then I like this name even better, Off Color Brewing out of Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, it's really good. They do so many of my favorite things well. The author says, Melinda Guerrero, who is the editor of Final Gravity, their best-selling Saison Apex Predator is one I buy every time I can, she says.
Nice.
So if you're into Saisons, there you go. Other Half Brewing in New York City and other locations. We've had a number of their beers on the show before, and
New York seems to have a lot of good breweries as well.
And then there's Oregon, where Hood River, Oregon is the home to Frem family brewers, or as I like to call them, P-Frem.
They're so good.
Yeah. They've made some amazing beers. Now, the next one is one we talked about on last week's show.
Really?
It's out of Austin. It's Pint House.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about Pint House on last week's show? They stand out even within one of the most spoiled beer cities in the country, writes Kate Bruneau, the lead analyst for Feel Goods Insight. And they have a trophy case of Great American Beer Festival, World Beer Cup, and other competition medals dating back more than a decade. That's pretty cool when you're a brewery that has a trophy case.
Also, great pizza.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. From Santa Rosa, California, you got to go with this one. It's the Russian River Brewing Company.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys know what is going on. The Russian River Pliny the Elder practically started the big IPA craze that swept through the country several years ago. From Mills River, North Carolina, and Chico, California, Sierra Nevada.
Oh.
And I'm a big believer in, a lot of people kind of dismiss Sierra Nevada because they're, almost
They're
like
one of the OGs,
the
though.
OGs of this whole style. But yeah, they are absolutely worth it, and should check them out.
I think some of those ubiquitous brands that have been around forever that have been doing it, even though we owe them a ton of props, I think we kind of disrespect them sometimes because, we see the Sierra Nevada on the shelf, but we go for something else because we know it really well.
It's kind of like in the cigar world, Arturo Fuente. They make great cigars, but it's easy to skip right past them and go for some boutique brand that you've heard a little bit about, or that is. But then you go back and you actually
just such a known factor,
right? You actually have an Arturo Fuente, Hemingway short story, and you're like, oh man, why is this cigar so
this is good? Yes,
yeah. From Chicago, Illinois, Spiteful Brewing Company.
I love
have
that.
we had
name.
any? I don't think we've had any Spiteful. I like it.
I would remember that.
They are on the list. From Barrington, Illinois, Sundial Brewing and Blending. And then from Oakland, California, the Tenma, Tenma, Tenma Beer Project. I like the name. I like it a lot. From Bend, Oregon. And we've had a number of beers from Bend, but this one is called UPP Liquids. That's the name of the...
Oh, we've never had that.
That's the name of the brewery. Or maybe it's Up Liquids. I don't know. But Tanya Cornett from
Are you down with UPP?
Liquids, was a recipient of the Russell Shearer Award for Innovation in Craft Brewing. And they say it is the must-hit brewery in Bend, Oregon. From Lafayette, Colorado, and we've had these beers before, Westbound and Down Brewing Company. Total shout out to Eastbound and Down, the show on HBO. From Albany, Vermont, the Wunderkammer Beer Manufaktur. And I'm going to spell that word so you know why I pronounced it so slowly.
German-ish.
Yeah, Biermanufaktur. Beer Manufaktur from Albany, Vermont. I have not had theirs, but I am so excited to try it. That would be absolutely awesome. And that's the last one on the list. So we went through all 30.
That's nice.
Yeah. Very cool. This IPA, I just want to mention, is absolutely fantastic.
It's really good. Like the balance on that is pretty outrageous.
And, for those who are newer to the show, I'm the IPA guy. I usually like almost all IPAs. Ian is a lot pickier about IPAs. There's other beer styles that he likes almost everything. But IPAs, he's always looking for something very balanced. Yeah, and so if this gets his thumbs up,
it's pretty difficult to find a bad
good.
Belgium or a bad porter, I think.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had one? Have you ever had a bad porter?
I feel like I have, but I can't bring it up. Maybe I blocked it from my memory. Right.
There's so many of them.
Or maybe I just haven't.
Good.
I don't know. Like I have had so many beers, I'd say the odds are good.
Right.
But I just like porters in general.
Right. And I'm a fan of the porter because it's always, when I first got into Guinness, which is a stout, not a porter, but the taste and the flavor of that Guinness, what you love so much about that chocolatey maltiness of Guinness, a lot of great porters have that.
Well,
sort of
a porter
in spades,
is basically a lighter stout.
Right.
That's kind of where it lives. But you also have some other stuff in that area that I absolutely dearly love, like Scotch ales. Also known as a wee heavy. Yeah. So you may see them named either way. And Real Ale out of Blanco, Texas, has one called Real Heavy.
Yeah, and that's a great beer.
You could buy a can of it for like $3. The big 24-ounce can of it for like $3.
Love that.
Sometimes I'm just like, I'm having 2 beers tonight.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Don't worry, honey. I'm only having 2 beers.
Just having 2.
But they're 38% ABV. Speaking of high ABV, I think that our Barleywine from Aslin Beer Company that we're going to try here in just a couple of segments is a pretty high ABV beer, too.
Not as big as last week's.
Yeah. What was last week's? It was 28?
25?
Yeah. Last week was the all high ABV beer thing. And what was amazing about it is that I brought them, not Ian. Usually when Ian brings the beers, we can count on it being a really big ABV week here on the show.
Well, I usually start off pretty soft at like 8%.
Yeah, right. And that's that's legit. That's legit. Although finding an 8% Pilsner to start the show can be quite a thing. I'll tell you about some cigars to watch for. 3 of our favorite cigar makers are collaborating, and it sounds like it's going to be awesome. Oscar Valadares Tobacco and Company.
Love that guy. Don't know him. Love him for his work.
They're partnering with a pair of well-known and well-respected factories for a new trio of limited editions called Oscar Valadares Tobacco Colaboraciones.
Okay.
Which is easy for me to say. The limited edition release, which already debuted actually at the PCA convention and trade show, it sees this Honduran cigar maker teaming up with Casa Carrillo and Oliva Cigar Company. Oh. So you put those 3 names together.
There's nothing from any of those names that I won't immediately try.
That's
those
right.
are all great.
All 3 of the cigars are 6x52 Toros. They are priced at $18 each, and they will come in 20-count boxes priced at $360. Each blend is limited to 1,500 boxes, so that's 30,000 cigars.
Grab them while you can.
Yeah. According to Half Wheel, those cigars are going to be shipping in late May, so they're coming soon to a tobacconist near you. Fuente is releasing their first cigar ever with a Mexican wrapper.
Oh.
It is the Don Carlos Sangre de Toro, which is Spanish for sangre of toro.
Okay. Well, when you put it that way, I am definitely trying that cigar.
Blood of the Bull is actually how it translates. Most of the sizes are available now. This was first previewed at last year's trade show, and it consists of a dark Mexican San Andres wrapper enveloping an all-Dominican blend. Fuente's been slowly trickling the sizes into the market since late last year, and so there's a number of different sizes left. The only one that's yet to ship is the 5th size, which is simply called Robusto, and it will be a $15 Robusto. All of the cigars are made at Fuente's Tabacalera Fuente Ixia. I never pronounced that right. And they come in glossy 20-count boxes depicting a charging bull.
Oh, nice.
So the bull is kind of like I've yet to have a cigar that was kind of bull-oriented, like Andalusian Bull, for example.
Right.
I've yet to have a bull-oriented cigar that wasn't great. I don't know what it is about the bull. The
LFD
Toro
would make more of those.
The Toro is my favorite size, too. And General Cigars shipped this year's release of CAO's Amazon Basin. Now, you may remember this. It's a limited edition cigar featuring some Amazonian tobacco as part of its blend, and they always have that sort of Jesus Crown of Thorns band around them that looks like, I don't know, it looks like something very ominous. You know?
Yeah, and it's made out of, I think, some of the same material as the cigar.
They use a tobacco type called Bragnaca, which is found in the filler. Bragnaca is grown in Brazil's Amazon rainforest. The seedlings are planted a full yard apart from each other. Which means smaller yields than typical tobacco fields. And after it's harvested, they're rolled in by hand into compact logs called carotes, and then they're set aside for a 6-month fermentation period. So this is so interesting to me, like all of the different hoops that they jump through to make this cigar. But it comes in one size. It's a Toro, and it sells for about $14.50 each. So, not like outrageous, but not cheap either. So
I'm still surprised, to be honest, and I don't mean this for the cigar companies to raise their prices, but I'm still surprised, even at the prices we're paying today, that they can manufacture cigars and get them to us at that price after all the hands they go through, after all the processes.
I agree. What is it, 100 hands touch a cigar before it gets to your
I think the put out the 300 Bonos, the 300 hands.
Oh, 300 hands. That's a lot of hands.
It's 150 different people.
I just hope they washed those hands. That's all I have to say, because I'm putting that bad boy in my mouth and lighting it up. So let's hope that hygiene was a factor. All right, we got to take a break. We will be right back. This is Smoking and Toasting. We'll be trying some rum next, and drinking news is on the way as well. It's Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back, my friends. This is Smoking and Toasting. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. And Smoking and Toasting is heard on great radio stations around the world, like KELY AM Salt Lake City and KFTK-FM St. Louis, Missouri, 97.1 FM. Thank you guys for listening to the show and for putting up with all of our crap. We appreciate it very much. And we will be drinking in your honor here momentarily. And we'll be drinking some rum. Now, this rum, I brought this in for today's show. It's signed, well, I'm sure it's not an actual signature, but it's like a reproduction.
Every bottle.
Yeah. Roberto Duran, the boxer, signed this. This is Ron Duran. Starts to say Rio Duran, which would mean it dances on the sand. But it's a rum from, I believe, Panama. Did I say that it was from Panama? I'm looking back at my notes here because I don't remember now.
Is it?
I believe, yes, it's a Panamanian rum. And I'm really excited about this one because this is really different. I'd never seen this before I bought this bottle. So.
As a tribute to one of the greatest boxers of all time, this rum was specifically crafted by the most renowned master blender of our time. This exquisite award-winning flavor profile is achieved by a blend of rum aged for 12 years in white oak whiskey barrels. Duran rum truly captures the essence of patience, passion, perseverance, and triumph. Best served neat or on the rocks.
Yeah, I love how they describe a boxer as, persevering through hard times up to triumph. Like, no, he just beat the crap out of people. That's what he did.
Well, you're persevering through the hard times when you're getting the crap beat out of you.
Well, I suppose that's true.
How that
yeah,
is.
I suppose
And
that's true.
then you triumph.
And then you've got that guy in your corner, like in Rocky. What was the guy's name?
Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey. And Rocky would come back to the corner, and he would tell him, "Come on, you're the champ."
That's right.
Yeah, you
it's
can
like
do this.
Paul Heyman in
Don't be a
WWE.
bum.
Yeah, don't be a bum. I love that. I also love the nose on this rum because I got to tell you,
I had a
haven't sipped it
conversation
yet.
about Rocky the other day, and it was with one of my students, and he goes, "Well, I mean, you know what happens? Rocky wins, right?" And I went, "No." Wow,
You, my friend, have not seen the Rocky
you
movies.
completely missed the story.
Yeah.
Rocky does not win. He
Yeah.
does, however,
And Mr. T.
go the distance.
Yes,
yes,
that's
he
right.
does. That's right.
Yeah, and I pity the fool who don't go the distance.
Mr.
I
T
train by
is
myself.
Awesome. He is
Yeah.
just awesome.
Yeah,
I do everything alone.
Mr. T goes on to be in the Army and then come back and be underground in the Los Angeles Underground for all those years. You can hire him.
And I just want to point out
The A-Team.
the A-Team. Thank you.
The A-Team.
Thank you. The A-Team. Are you
What about
kidding
the
me?
face?
What other country has a show called the A-Team?
I love it.
A show like the A-Team.
That was
Yeah.
the best. That
Yeah.
was the best
Wanted for
show.
a crime they didn't commit.
That's
Yes,
right. Was
that's
Dirk,
right.
Dirk Benedict in the
Yes,
A-Team?
he
Yeah, that's
was.
what I thought.
Because it was weird because some people were used to him fighting the Cylons.
Right,
and-
'cause he
and
was
I
in the
too,
original
yes.
Battlestar
He was in the
Galactica.
original Battlestar Galactica, and he was awesome. And then he also was in the A-Team, and he was awesome because he was face in the
Right.
A-Team. And yeah. And Murdoch.
Well, and Murdoch,
But yeah, Mr.
yeah.
T to this day, he's awesome. I still see him on
So,
Twitter sometimes,
I
and
just
it's
want to
awesome.
point out that we've just spent the last minute and a half extolling the virtues of a really awful TV show called The A-Team.
Yeah. Well, one time my
Wanted for a
grandfather.
crime they didn't commit.
One time, my grandfather told me that he met George Papard, and I thought it was the most awesome thing in the world. He didn't even mention that he had met him. That like this guy was famous before the A-Team.
Yeah, right.
He was in Breakfast in Tiffany's and all these other things, and he was
So-
like, "I met George Papard once," and I was like, "You met you met Hannibal from the
So-
A-Team?"
So I never met George Papard, but when I was a kid, I used to work summers at this mansion home that was outside of the small town where I grew up. And the guy who owned the home, super nice guy named Mr. Evans. And Mr. Evans was the owner of Luby's Cafeterias.
Okay.
So, and if you're from the Texas area, you know, Luby's Cafeterias was a big deal.
Yes.
And Mr. Evans also was a co-owner along with Angie Dickinson. Remember from
Yes,
Police Woman?
yes.
They co-owned the Fiesta Dinner Playhouse in San Antonio.
Okay.
And I'm a kid. I'm like a sophomore in high school, and I'm working out there like painting fences and taking care of his dogs and horses and stuff, whatever he needed done. And he comes to me and he goes, "Do you watch Hogan's Heroes?" I'm like, "I watch Hogan's Heroes all the time. That's my dad's favorite show." He goes, "Well, Bob Crane, who played Colonel Hogan, is going to be coming to do a play at the Playhouse. And if you'd like to meet him, I'm going to have him come out here on a Saturday or whatever and, you know, ride the horses and hang out. If you want to come out, you'll be able to meet him." I was so excited. I'd never met a celebrity like Colonel Hogan, right? This was going to be a big deal. And unfortunately, it never happened because about a week before he was supposed to arrive in San Antonio to be in the Fiesta Dinner Playhouse production of whatever play it was, he hanged himself doing some sort of autoerotic asphyxiation thing in a hotel room in Middle America.
I knew this was going somewhere.
And I never got to meet Colonel
I
Hogan.
almost met Michael Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Hutchins. It was someone talking the other day
Dude,
about Hutchins.
Michael Hutchins was a musical genius, but that's for another show,
I need
another
another
time.
mic in here for Rowdy.
So Rowdy
We got
Yates
Rowdy.
just joined us.
Rowdy Yates,
I
everybody.
got to jump in. I hate to interrupt your program here. Hello there, friends. You talked about meeting George Papard.
Yes.
I met George Papard when I was a teenager. Absolute height of the A-Team.
I
And Hannibal
totally
see?
was the biggest thing.
Yes.
He came to do an appearance in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, and my dad, who was also a media type like I am, so I grew up in the business, picked him up at the airport.
How
And-
cool.
but get this, in this little quiet moment when Papard and my father are alone at the radio station, George apparently walks up to my dad and just whispers in his ears, is there any way you could get me a woman? My dad's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure,
I'll
we
look
happen
into
to have
that.
him. We happen to have him here in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yes, there are women here.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. No, that was worth every bit of it. All right, we're going to talk about this rum when we come back. We're also going to do drinking news. This is Smoking and Toasting. We will be right back. Rowdy Yates, ladies and gentlemen.
Rowdy Yates.
Thank you. Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. And I just want to point out, by the way, and maybe it's just because I'm such a radio geek, because that was my career for years before I started this highly profitable endeavor. And there are no other shows out there that just have Rowdy Yates, radio legend, walk in and share a story. Yeah. So this is the coolness that you people are listening to, and we thank you for, maybe considering that some of that coolness might rub off
Dude, that
on us.
voice.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So we poured a rum in the last segment, and I've already been sampling it. And I got to tell you, this Roberto Duran themed rum is really good.
Yes.
And you know what? This was not an expensive bottle. This is about a $38 bottle, and it's really delicious. What do you think?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It comes across sweet, and then a little tart, and then finishes with
that sort of
that kind of
caramel,
burnt caramel. Yeah, it's really nice. But it's also unapologetically rum. It's not
It is rum.
Right.
It's not like rum that tries to. It's not like some people would say certain rums drink like a whiskey or things like that. This is not like that.
This is not like that.
Nope.
This is a rummity rum.
Yes.
Yes.
Which will beg the question: what do you do with a drunken sailor?
I don't know the answer to that. We have attempted to, delve the depths of mankind's knowledge and answer that question in previous shows, and I don't know that we've ever come up with an acceptable answer.
We'll have to do some research on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Maybe we could ask Rowdy to join us again, and he could tell us what to do with a drunken sailor. I don't know. In the meantime, though, I think it's time to batten down the hatches, hide the women and children, because, my friends, it is time for drinking news.
Drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news. A Florida man with one arm said he had a gator for a pet. When asked about his absent arm, he said,
He said, I didn't have
when
my...
asked about his absent arm, he said,
What is wrong with my phone?
That's not what he said, bro. When asked about his absent arm, he said,
He said, what is going on with my phone?
I had to take my gator to the vet.
There we go.
drinking news.
I'm so sorry.
Now it's time for drinking news. Recorded live, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's right. There is, we could do overdubs on this show, but why?
Yes.
It would make you guys think that we're actually capable and professional, and
Madness.
We don't want to, we don't want to get into that too deeply. Well, Drinking News is a segment on the show where we bring you stories that are from the news and are ostensibly true. These aren't parody stories like from The Onion and stuff. These are actual stories that have been reported, and they are sometimes, but not always, about drinking, but they are always best enjoyed if you've been drinking.
I might need some more of that rum for that, then.
And do you need some more rum? Here, we'll pass this over. This is the Ron Duran, so don't
Pass
provoke it.
the rum to the left hand side.
Yeah. I think that's the Ducci, but I'll take rum.
Yeah.
I'll take rum. Before we get to our main story in today's drinking news, a quick note and some real poop from the nation of Hungary. Been in the news a bit lately.
All right.
That is where a Hungarian man.
Oh, boy.
I don't have a jingle for that.
Okay, it's all right.
I was not prepared.
A Hungarian man was rescued after becoming lost and disoriented in an underground sewer.
Lost in time.
I can only think of like Land of the Lost, like when they fell into the dinosaur
yes.
world. Were they in the sewer
No,
to start with?
I think so, but honestly,
No, I
all
thought
I
it
can
was like
think, all I can
a
think of
crevice
is,
in the earth or
yeah,
something.
all I can think of is it. Was there a red balloon
Wait, hold
around
on.
somewhere?
Hold on. I'm channeling the theme song. Hold on. Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition.
Did you ever see that Will Ferrell remade that? You know, he made it into a movie.
Yes, and it was wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, in all the wrong ways.
Yes.
Why is Will Ferrell so funny?
I don't know.
amazing.
Because, like, if you take him just out of context, he's not.
Yeah.
But then you watch his stuff and you die laughing.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
More cowbell.
kind of like Nicolas Cage. But anyway, a Hungarian man became lost and disoriented in an underground sewer, and Hungarian rescue teams spent over an hour trying to figure out just where he was and how to get him out.
This sounds like the
Wait.
plot of It. This just
Yeah.
sounds like It.
How did he know? Did he have a cell phone or something?
Well, what's notable about this story is the man said that the reason he was in the sewer in the first place
Chasing a paper boat?
is because he'd been told that the sewer system was the fastest way to get from one side of town to the other. So he was just using it as a shortcut.
Never mind the smell.
Why do
Apparently,
you think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are there?
apparently, the man managed to find his way down into the dungeon of Dookie and then almost immediately got lost. Police at the scene said they, and I'm quoting here, believe that alcohol was involved, end quote. Well, duh.
Think so?
At this time, Drinking News suspects but is unable to confirm that the man may have told rescuers that his experience has caused him to realize that his plan was, in fact, the crappiest one ever. But our main story today on Drinking News takes us
Total waste of time.
to the Beaver State. And yes, that's a real thing. And no, we're not making some kind of sexist joke, although we were wildly tempted to do so. The Beaver State is Oregon. And as a matter of fact, there's apparently an image of a beaver.
That's not a state of mind.
Right. There's apparently an image of a beaver on the back side of the Oregon state flag. So, yeah. Anyway, an Oregon woman.
Wait, so the front is a beaver and the back is the backside of the beaver?
No, the back is the beaver and the front
okay.
is whatever Oregon.
There's no backside of the beaver.
Yeah. It's just a big tail. Anyway, an Oregon woman is suing Trader Joe's for $10,000 in damages.
Not very much for these days.
Damn you, Trader Joe's.
Because she claims she found a human body part in her Trader Joe's organic orange juice. Now, I guess technically it would still be considered organic, right?
It was still organic.
Yeah. Julie O'Neill says she bought the 52-ounce bottle of the brand's signature orange juice from the Halsey Street Trader Joe's in Portland in June of 2025. And after finishing the bottle, she noticed a large piece of pulp in her mouth that she claims was the tip of a rubber glove. According to her attorney, Anthony Furness, she thought that it might have also contained the end of a human finger in the glove tip or in the pulp of the orange juice, which she may have inadvertently swallowed or ingested as well. Now, immediately after, the Oregon woman experienced gagging and nausea and also had a burning sensation in her mouth, because that's what happens when you get a piece of a finger, according to the lawsuit. And she did what any of us would do if we think we swallowed a part of a finger. She took herself to urgent care. And it turns out this is not the first lawsuit of this kind that O'Neill has filed. She reportedly sued Starbucks for $10,000 in 2020 after she says she fell into a large puddle of water on the floor and injured her knee.
Somebody needs to give this lady $10,000. Seriously. She
Baristas-
needs $10,000. That's what's happening.
Baristas may or may not have told her that it was not, in fact, a large puddle, but was a venti or at the very least a grande. So she also sued a massage therapist in 2024.
Let me guess, for $10,000?
Actually, no. In this case, it was more. She claimed that the masseur improperly stepped on her neck and requested just under $1 million in the claim.
Oh.
including, by the way, $124,000 in lost wages. So I don't know what she does,
what
but
we're,
that's a
what
lot
we're
of
to
money.
learn about this woman is she is monetarily motivated.
Yes. And by the way, several prominent politicians have privately pointed out that they normally have to pay extra for someone to step on their neck, but O'Neill filed the lawsuit anyway. Interestingly, both of these matters have since been dropped. Now, as many of you who have heard this segment before on Smoking and Toasting already know, these stories we share here on Drinking News may be ridiculous, but they often have the effect of leaving me rather inspired. And when I become inspired, I like to jot down my inspirational thoughts, and that is often in the form of, poetry or prose. Now, this is most definitely what has happened this week, as I have prepared a little sonnet for you that I would, despite repeated government warnings, like to share with you here. And if I could get a little poetry reading music, please. I like where you're headed already. And it goes a little something like this. She filed her suit without delay. For a fingertip, now the store should pay. While it was quite perverse, I'm sure it could have been worse if she'd found a very different tip in her OJ. Reporting live from the sewers in Hungary, where not only am I lost, but I really need to go to the bathroom and I can't find a place to do it. And oh, wait, never mind. My name is Cruz, and that is your
Drinking news. That's our time for drinking news.
Cheers, y'all.
I had to take my gator to the vet.
I just wanted to show that we did eventually get to the. Should have just had Rowdy come in and say it.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
Right.
That would have been really
We used
good.
to have a recording of him doing it.
Yeah, I know. And that was when, I don't know if I've told you the story, but that app is no longer supported on the App Store, and I lost all my recordings.
Okay, well, you have a meeting after this
Yes,
with
I know.
Rowdy Yates, so you can actually put the
I know.
thing going around the table and get everybody to do it.
I really, really need to do that.
Because I don't think we had Pat doing it either.
I don't think we do, and we should.
Yep.
By all means,
Yes.
we should. Just to go back to this rum for just a
Yes,
moment.
please.
This is wonderful.
This is quite delicious.
Yes.
actually.
And I enjoyed this during the entire Drinking News segment, which is more than can be said for the Drinking News segment itself. But no, it's really good. And the more you sip on this, the more those flavors of kind of like chocolate and caramel kind of come out in the
Vanilla.
mix. And vanilla, yes. I love vanilla
big
in my
vanilla, big like salted caramel almost.
This is for real. Now, we do have another beer. I don't know if we have time to get... we got a couple of minutes in the segment. We can get to this other beer because this is a barley wine. And I'm very interested to see how this barley wine pairs up with this rum. Because the rum is really rich and delicious. Yeah. And honestly, not an expensive rum. I mean, I'm kind of a cheap bastard. So generally, when I buy a rum, it's not going to be that expensive of a rum. But... maybe every now and then I'll splurge. In the meantime, this was a very expensive barley wine, so it cost more than the rum.
Yeah,
yes, it did.
But
we'll do what we can and see how this goes. And barley wine is that your favorite style of beer, Ian? Barley wine, would you say?
Man, it's a real good toss-up between Scotch ale and barley wine.
Scotch ale and barley wine.
And Belgian.
And Belgian, okay.
he likes those weak beers.
I'm kind of like that. It's either
No.
It's either barley wine or maybe like a porter or an IPA, a real juicy IPA, or I really like pilsners. So those are my favorites.
Yeah.
Just pretty much beer. Beer good.
Beer good.
Beer good. This barley
this
wine
smells so good.
I'm just saying, looking at the consistency and the color and the way that it kind of sticks to the edge of the glass, I'm thinking this is going to be an Ian victory here, this barley wine. But let's see.
He's thinking.
Your
He's
thoughts,
thinking.
sir?
That's pretty
He's on
good.
the tee.
This is called U Street. That is the name of this barley wine, and it is it's a double bourbon barrel-aged barley wine from Aslin Beer Company in Alexandria, Virginia. Does it say what the ABV is on that?
15.75%.
Oh, that's all. Okay.
Wow, that's it.
And you have now given us all the information that is currently available.
Yeah, pretty
on
much
this.
there's
And that's
not
all the bottle
much
says.
more other than the
No,
government warning.
it just has U Street, and then it has this kind of Art Deco building top.
So I know that.
Fun.
So Alexandria, Virginia. I know this because my my grandson lives there, along with his parents. But really, the grandson's the important one.
Yeah.
Just so we get to that. But Alexandria is a suburb of Washington D.C. And Washington K Street is the famous street where all the lobbyists hang out and have their offices and go to bars. But I've never heard of U Street, and I lived in D.C. I've never heard of U Street.
If you know where K Street is,
Yeah.
you just go down a few
LMNOP,
streets, LMNOP,
Yeah, okay.
and that's U Street.
But I don't know what's significant about
when
U
I went
Street.
up there and we hung out with Adam for a little bit, we went by Shelley's, I think it's called, the cigar bar / restaurant.
Oh, nice.
And we hung out there for a cigar. That
Was that
pretty
on
cool.
U Street?
No,
No, okay.
but it was in the area.
Yeah, okay, I got you. It was either LMNOP or
Street, LMNOP Avenue.
yeah, LMNOP. That's going to be the name of my production company. LMNOP Productions.
I like that time that they decided on SNL, Dan Aykroyd was going to shorten the alphabet. LMNOP was going to be one word.
Yeah,
One letter,
I
one
like
letter.
that. LMNOP with one letter. Yeah.
LMNOP was one letter.
All right, so I have now enjoyed several really generous sips of the barley wine, and I'm now going back to the rum, which Ian is holding out to me, showing
I
me
can
how
clearly
empty
see
it
the
is.
bottom of my rum glass.
And that's never a good thing.
I should see it with a little bit of
How
tint.
can we go back to drinking rum
Oh, boy.
when we drank barley wine?
So-
okay, sorry, that was too obvious.
So, interestingly enough, the vanilla is muted a little bit when you go back to this, which I wasn't expecting.
I
This
see that.
barley wine. So let's talk about this barley wine for just a minute. This barley wine is about as barley wine as you get. Like it is.
It's a very barley winey
date
barley
and
wine.
raisin and
Yeah.
sticky.
Yes.
And
All of which
big
makes
and
you happy, right?
ridiculous. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
But it also has that bourbon influence.
Yeah, well, it is double bourbon barrel aged.
Double.
So we'll talk more about it when we come back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back. It is Smoking and Toasting. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. These are all things that we're big fans of, and we thank you, if you're fans of those things, for joining us for this program. It has been a lot of fun. I got to say, this rum and this barley wine, the rum is the Ron Duran, which is got Roberto Duran's copied signature on the front and is supposedly a tribute to him. But it's a wonderful rum. And
He
it's not too
copies signature to
expensive.
every one of these.
Yeah, it's not too expensive, and it just really marries beautifully with this barley
It
wine.
does.
It oddly does. I have to agree with that. This is absolutely delicious. It's the barley wine itself is such a great, real deal English style barley wine.
Would you put this up there in like the maybe top 10% of barley wines we've ever had on the show?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, and this one I particularly am endeared to this one because this one is so traditional barley wine, and then a little bit of bourbon.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's there's nothing special about this except for that it is special.
Being, what I consider to be a good co-host on the program, and knowing how much Ian, my partner here, loves barley wines, I often look for them because I know it'll make him happy if we bring one on the show, right? And so this is a common theme for me. I find a barley wine, I go, oh, this looks like something that Ian would really like. And then I take it to the counter and they go, that'll be $79.99, please. These are not inexpensive. And it's because of all the time and the barrel aging that goes into them.
The amount of
but-
effort that goes into a beer like this is many times more
Yeah.
than your standard microbrew.
So it's expensive, but worth it if you're really looking for that, fermented fruit, date, nut sort of a vibe.
And you might even think to yourself, should I buy this one beer that costs as much as 4 cases of your standard microbrew?
of Michelob Ultra? Yes. The
Is
answer
it going
yes.
to be that much better?
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. Well, and this is, and I will say, barley wines may not be for the, novice drinker.
If
may
you
take
like
you a
a
little
crisp and delicious beer, what like some people call a summery beer, don't buy this.
Yeah.
Just stay away.
This is
Just
something
run
that
away.
is it tastes like it's like overly fermented, but in the best possible way.
Yeah, if you like stuff to be extreme, if you like kind of the over the top styles, if you like the hoppiest of hoppy beers ever, this is the maltiest of malty beers ever.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yes, the maltiest of malty beers ever. And one of the things I love is the way that it goes with whiskeys, with rums, with
Yes.
tequilas.
With cigars.
With cigars, big time. I mean, honestly, I couldn't even think of a cigar that wouldn't pair with this barley wine.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be difficult. Even a super light cigar.
Right. Even a super light cigar, you would still get a great deal of
And
enjoyment.
what's interesting
out of it.
about it is you think, well, wouldn't the barley wine kind of bury a light cigar? No, actually, it's because you get a little bit of that contrast.
And the sweetness of the barley wine
Yeah.
would work really well with a milder cigar. But it would also work with something heavier.
Yes.
Yeah, and it would give you an amplification, I think, to those.
I mean, if you got something
those
with a
flavors.
beautiful like fermented hay / campfire kind of note to it, this is going to just make it shine even more.
This actually would be a great. Occasionally, you have those cigars that have that like sort of campfire infusion, like the
Muat.
Yeah, like those kind of cigars.
Yeah.
My Uzi weighs a ton is what Muat stands for. And the one, what is it, Backdoor Betty, or what is it called?
Big Bottom Betty.
Big Bottom Betty, yeah. Thank you, Backdoor Betty.
Backdoor Betty.
Sorry, I was channeling something from my past. I apologize. It was high school. Life was different then.
I want to be your backdoor man.
Yeah, but the fact that this would marry so well with those sort of smoky cigars as well. And I'll be honest, those aren't my favorite cigars, but lighting one up and having it with this would
So the
be a
Deadwood
wonderful
cigars,
experience.
like the Big Bottom Betty
Deadwood,
and
yes.
the Crazy Alice and those kind of things like that, they're actually really good. But you have to understand too, they're first off they're a sweet tip, and a lot of people like that sweet tip. They really enjoy that. But they're a sweet tip, and they're also partially pipe tobacco.
Right.
So they have
they've got that
great room
richness.
note to it.
Yeah, they've got that richness and wonderful room. Speaking of pipe tobacco, it's been a while since we did a pipe show. We need to do a pipe show.
We do need to do a pipe show.
Yeah.
All right. I'm on it. We're going to figure out where.
I always enjoy the pipe shows because Ian brings his one pipe with the really super long stem.
Yes.
And then he like
church
points.
warden, yes.
Yeah, he points it at you as if to, demonstrate his superiority as a critical thinker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I enjoy that. That's one of my favorite parts.
The real trick is to point it as if you're about to say something, like nod it a few times, right? Mm-hmm. And then look as if you rethought what you were about to say, and then put the pipe back in your mouth.
I'd take another puff. Yeah, I love it. All right, pipe show will be on the way, my friends. We will be looking. Anything else you can tell us about future shows that are coming up?
No, we're not going to do anything interesting.
Okay, good. Good.
So no, I got some things in the works, but I'll let you know as soon as I have everything booked.
Okay, yeah.
But we got some on premises things going on. We got a few other things coming up.
And we do want to thank our show beer sponsor, Copperhead Brewing, who brought us some really amazing show beers that we've been enjoying on the show.
Absolutely fantastic.
And just for those of you who saw our live show out at Copperhead Brewing, which was kind of like one of the wackiest, craziest shows we've ever done. It got a little out of hand. We have since made up with Copperhead Brewing, and we're friends again. And it just goes to show you, when the beer is good, all other things can be negotiable.
Yeah, and if you find yourself
And
up
their
in
their beer is good.
their brewery is cool.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's a wonderful place.
Like their brewery is as cool as can be.
And I think there's a good chance we may do our 500th show there.
Also, their head
4 months
brewer
away.
is Metal AF.
Oh yeah, you got to love that.
Yeah.
You got to love that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not talking
Yes.
about like industrial metal. I'm talking about like 7-string tuned down
Yeah.
Mesa Boogie amps, Metal AF.
All right, so we only have a moment left on the show, but your favorite metal band, go.
Oh, come on, Iron Maiden.
Yeah?
Yeah, if I'm gonna pick one, but see, then I love Ozzy. I mean, one of my favorite guitar players, Randy Rhoads. I don't know. Favorites are hard for me,
Yeah? Because you feel like you're
but
excluding others?
I like all of those.
Yeah, all the above?
I like all of those. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it may seem like a cop-out answer, but I think I would have to go with Metallica.
Remember when they used to rock?
Oh yeah.
See, here's the thing about Iron Maiden, though.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden still rocks.
Are you saying that Metallica does not still rock?
Have you listened to the recent stuff?
Yeah, but do you think Megadeth or Metallica?
All the way to the end of the show, and we're having a Metallica,
See, but Megadeth
difference.
or Metallica?
Dude, let me go ahead and give you a case in point.
Yeah.
The Unforgiven Part 2. Hold on.
I don't remember that particular chord progression in the Unforgiven Part 2. No. But maybe I need to go back and listen again.
Well, you guys are all wrong. It's Motorhead.
Okay.
Motorhead's amazing.
I'm with you. Lemmy is... Okay.
Lemmy is God.
I was in a diner in Los Angeles, and Lemmy came in.
Wow.
And it was like the most awesome thing.
Wow.
I, of course, didn't talk to him because, like,
But
what do you say to Lemmy? Hey, dude, rock on. Like, you'd be an idiot.
Remember when you did that song? It was like Ace of Spades. That was awesome.
That was awesome, man.
Turns into the Chris Farley Show immediately.
Have a great week, my friends. Thank you for being here for Smoking and Toasting. We'll be back next week to talk cigars and spirits and craft beer, and we love doing those things. So have a great week, and cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.